So tell me a little bit about how you prepare for something like this, because I know there's so much preparation that goes in week to week for our musicians, just getting the program together. But as you said, now you're in front of the orchestra, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do to make sure you're ready and you're performing at the level that you want to?
Yeah, so there's obviously the technical aspect, like making sure I'm in good shape playing, doing my scales and long tones and
Yeah.
etudes and all that stuff, all the basic stuff. And then just learning the actual notes of the piece. It's got some flashy moments where the technique really comes into play. So just getting all of that under the fingers, but also just researching about the composer and the piece and the general time period is hugely important because I need to know how they envisioned it going, how it would sound. They had a certain mood for each movement, and it kind of stayed in that mood.
Okay.
For this infant composite, the sensibility, the sensitivity, you weren't bound to one mood for the whole movement. So there's lots of rapid changes.
Okay.
And it's very operatic. The mood shifts from one segment to the next.
And so is this something our listeners should be hearing or should be listening for? Is these mood shifts in the performance that you're going to be?
Yeah, it should be pretty apparent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So the other thing I want to talk about in terms of preparation for this is for those who don't understand the intricacies of an orchestra week. Typically, for a classical week, the orchestra and the soloist on the program have multiple services that are 2.5 hours in length where they get to prepare and rehearse and get ready. And then at the end of the week, there's the concert, right? So there's, more time available to prep and get everyone together. Now, due to this environment and due to our very stringent health and safety guidelines, the orchestra can only come together for 90 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does that change your role and what you need to do? And we have limited time to record as well, so it's not a typical recording session. How does this all wrap into the week and you accomplishing what you need to with this concerto?
So I definitely feel like I have to be able to hit the ground running. I mean, 90 minutes is not a lot of time. On one hand, it's short, but on the other hand, it is nice because it's only focused on one piece. Generally, in a 2.5 hour rehearsal, we have 2 or possibly 3 pieces that we're working on. So it is good that, now we're focusing on this piece alone. We're not distracted by other things. We can really dive into this piece. But it is short. The first day, we're going to be focusing on the first movement. And then the next day, which I believe is a couple days later, we're going to be focusing on the second and third movements. So it'll give us some time to really nail down what we want for each movement. It'll feel weird to not play the whole concerto all the way through like I normally would, but I am glad that I get the time to iron out the details.
Absolutely.